surround sound system here. It's got a error message on it. It doesn't play anything, but displays an error message on the screen. I got it plugged in, but I don't have the power switch turned on yet. So here's what happens when I turn it on. We got power applied to it. The volume comes up, but I cannot adjust the volume. And there's our error message. NG LCRSL BLBR. And if you are wondering what that is, I have it on my phone here because I got it out of the service manual. The L, the first L, stands for the front left channel. The C is the center channel. The R is the front right channel. The S is the surround left channel. The L is the, well, it should be SL, SR, but there's not an SR on there. But the BL is the back left channel, surround back left channel, and the BR is the surround back right channel. So in other words, it's saying all the channels, there's something wrong. So that's what all those little letters mean in here. So in other words, there's something going on with the outputs. We can do a diagnostic check if we press, let's see, what is the enter button and the on button. So I'll press the enter button and the on button. That clears it. And now I'm going to start this up again, and it should do a test. The volume, I can't adjust it still. Here goes the test that it does to check everything in the amp to make sure it's working right. That's the display, the FL. And here's the channel, the center channel, I believe. FR, front right maybe. SL, surround left, surround right. Back left, back right, and there's the message again. So also when I pressed enter here, you could see that that little thing popped up there, detect, protection, and then it has a V there. That means voltage. It would have an I there if it's current. So it's saying something about there's something to do with the voltage in the output area. So we're going to have to take this apart and look at the output transistors area and see if we can find anything that's going on with that. See what's causing this problem. Hopefully it's something we can fix real easy. If not, then I guess we're going to have to maybe order some parts. Alright, let me get this thing tore apart so we can see what's going on the inside. Alright, I got this apart, and before I touched anything on the inside, I had a look around, and I just want to point out one thing about when you're connecting things to amps or whatever, mainly the speakers. When you're when you peel off the insulation on the speaker wire, I'll use this for instance, you're peeling off the insulation on there, and then you're twisting around so you can stick it into the back in the connection. When you're doing this kind of work, don't do it over this. because the wires that break off in the process of this are going to fall between these holes, guaranteed. And that's what I want to show you that I found on the inside. And I'm not saying that that is what caused this problem, but I want to show you where I found 5 pieces lying around in there that could potentially have caused the problem with this amp not working. So I'm just going to point to them, and as I point to them, I'll take pictures, and as I point to them, I'll put that picture up next to it so you can actually see what it looks like up close. So starting out, a real basic one that isn't a problem right now but could potentially be a problem is there's actually a wire hanging on the side in between these 2 transistors. So it's just hanging there, and it's caught on the white grease they have on there. So I'll put a picture up for that one there. If that one was to drop off there and land on the circuit board, it could short 2 components together, and there goes your amp. So that's one. Another one, I'm going to need my little flashlight here. Another one is right here, and you can see the picture there. And you can see that, I'm going to shine this light in here, so let me change my glasses here. So you can see in the picture that it is across the capacitor, and it's very close to the wire that's there. Now, just moving this amp around, maybe that moved off the wire or off the coil. Maybe it could have been connecting to it. It's hard telling. Moving it from his house to my house and so forth. Okay, so that's 2. Let's see, there's another one right here. So this is 3. And on that one, you can see that it actually is shorting together between the resistor and the green capacitor here. So that one definitely could be causing some kind of a problem. I haven't looked underneath to see if those are connected underneath. If these 2 legs are connected underneath, then it's not going to cause a problem. But if that wire jumps around a little bit during movement or whatever, or maybe it did move, I don't know, that could have caused a short. So that's 3. There's another one right over here on this side. This is 4. And you could see that wire is shorting between those 2 wire strips, the 2 jumpers there. So that's shorting between there. So that's 4. And the 5th one I found is right down here. And you can see in the picture that it is shorting between that little resistor and the yellow capacitor. So that too could be causing the problem, depending on if those are connected. And it's shorting across the jumper wire too. So it's shorting 3 things together right there. So all those things could be causing, don't just remember that's my chair, not me. So all those wire fibers could be causing the problem with this amp. So that's why it's very important not to do any twisting of wires or anything over the top of your amps, because you don't want them to fall down in the holes and land on the circuit board down here, because then this is the kind of stuff that happens. But like I said, I'm not guaranteeing that that's the issue right now, but from what I see, that definitely will cause a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and vacuum this out, make sure I get all those out of there, get the dust out of there, see if I can't find any more, but I'll make sure I don't see any more, and then we'll just turn it on and see what happens first before we go any further. Alright, here's a picture of all the culprits that were in there. Now I'm going to plug this in just to see if it did anything. If not, then we know we got to dig into some more troubleshooting. Let me turn it on. I got it plugged in. Let me turn it on. Volume. Nope. It's going to go through its tests. Let's see what it comes up with. So those little things, if they did short out, it probably fried something. We just got to find out what it is that it fried. But one step at a time though. Same message. So it looks like those little things didn't do too much. Still got our voltage detection for the protect, okay. I just cleared it just to see what's going to happen. Cleared the error messages. Now let's turn it back on again. Alright, so it looks like we're going to have to dig into it some more because it probably fried some output transistors or something, so we'll have to do some tests on those. We're going to see if we can get something straightened out here. I don't know if you noticed, you probably didn't because the video may be a little dark. I got this thing all tore apart. If you look right here and right here, you'll notice two dark spots. That should give it away that there's something going on with the circuit board right there. It wasn't that I was ignoring it or I didn't see it. I knew they were there, but I was looking for those little strands of wire that we were talking about. And those little strands of wire laying on there most likely were the culprit that probably burnt this up and caused this problem to happen. So, and the messages, the error message that displayed on the front, I'll show you right here what it displayed. It displayed everything. The NG is supposed to stand for no good, and then it displayed the LCRSL BLBR, which is all the channels except for the SR, which is the surround right channel. So in other words, it says the surround right channel is supposed to be good. That's the way I understand the service manual. Well, this is the surround right channel, the one that has the burnt up parts on it. So this is the problem child, then all the rest of them are no good. So it seems a little flaky there to me. There was one time that I was playing around with it and I got this display up there, and this shows that every one of the channels come out to be bad. So you can even see the SR on there. So it must be intermittent or something. And I put my finger on those spots when it was running at one time, which it didn't last very long. It shut right back off again, and it got really hot really quick. So I know there's something going on there. So I got this all tore apart, as you can see, and I actually removed a couple of the components. Let me flip this way so I can see it better myself. And You won't be able to see it good this way, but I'll put up a picture here and you can see it a closer view. This section right here is that SR, the surround right that we were looking at on the other side. These 2 points right here are the one that were burning the board. So I got right over here, over on this side, you can see these 3 components right here. I got 2 transistors and a diode that I removed from this section, and these 2 transistors were the ones that got really hot, and then there was also a diode right here. It might be hard to see, but you can see it in the blown up picture there. I removed that diode because that's bad. It doesn't read anything compared, and these channels are exactly the same. So I compared everything here to this channel here, this channel here, and this channel here. And everything else seems to be good except for those things that I removed, which are those 3 components. So hopefully I found everything. So I went ahead and I ordered the parts. I ordered the original parts that came from China. So this is probably 3 weeks later since the previous part you just saw, because it took a while to get them from China, and now I'm just going to get ready to put these parts in and put the whole thing back together and test it and see if we get the same error message when it runs its test at the beginning. And if we do, then that tells me that I missed something and there's still a voltage protection set on it, and then we'll have to look for some more things, but if it passes it all, then it should work. Alright, I think we're ready to try this just to see what happens. I got it all together, the new parts put in. I'm going to plug it in. It's either going to go, or it's going to blow, or it's going to stay the same. We got our standby light on. Let's turn it on. I can adjust the volume knob. We got all of our outputs, all of our speaker outputs. Get that right there, and then you can see it. Well, it comes up different. I mean, it comes up normal. I don't have no speakers or anything hooked up to it. So far it comes up normal. I'm going to check the voltage as it says, the idle currents. I think it says the idle currents. Check the idle currents if you do any work on the board, just to make sure they're within 1 what is it, idle voltage is? I can't remember now. It's got to be between 1 millivolt and 20 millivolts or something like that. I think that's what it said. So I'll check that, but at least it's coming up right. So let me set this up so we can check those, and if those are within, then we might be good. So it looks like I got everything together. Let's see, what was I doing last time? Yeah, we was going to check the current. It is it's the idle current, and it has you connect some leads to these spots, and I'll put a picture up here to show you, to these white connectors on the board, and then you put 2 100 ohm resistors in series with the connectors, and then you run it to a meter and you put it on millivolts, or put it on volts, DC volts, and you see if it's between the idle current, or it's going to read volts, so see if it's between 1 millivolt and 20 millivolts when nothing's playing and it's just sitting there hot. 4 to 5 minutes it says. So you can see right now the the channel that we replaced the components on are right here, and that's where I have this connected to. And you can see that it's reading 4.5 millivolts. So the idle current for that is good. And I went ahead and checked all the other ones, and the other ones that idle with nothing playing, they're all higher, probably about 7 to 9 millivolts. So that tells me that those components are a little bit more wore out, so that's why they're higher. That's my guess. So these are brand new components in here, so it's going to be a little bit more because they're within tolerance, closer to within tolerance and stuff like that. So we're all good here. And if we turn this up, which I have some just some YouTube free library music here, we can see that the number turns here. It changes. That's why they have you set it with nothing playing, with nothing on, just heating up. So that's all the way down. So then as you turn it louder, that number will get bigger. So you check it with it all the way down, and all of them are within, so we have nothing to worry about. And I have this one connected to just the left side, and this one is connected to the channel, the surround right, the channel that we replaced the components on. And I just got little 8 ohm mid-range tweeters. It's the only thing I had laying around at the moment. But yeah, it looks like this is a success. So I'm gonna burn this in a little bit more. Tomorrow I'll hook up my big speakers to it and pound it away a little bit and make sure that everything's good. And I think it is. And so we can give this back to the guy, and he can start enjoying it again. Alright, I think that's it. So I guess we'll see you in the next one.